So Huda Beauty has dropped a really cool foundation for all of us. I have been patiently waiting and stalking the Sephora website for this drop, and I'm super excited to test it out for you today. I also picked up the primer, so we're going to test out both products and see if it really holds up to the claims that it actually blurs. So if that sounds like something that interests you, then keep on watching. Okay, friends, so we have an Easy Blur Natural Airbrush Foundation that was dropped by Huda Beauty. Here's the package. It's rather small looking, but it is 1 ounce, so very compact. I got shade Custard 220N. Now, I feel like I could have worn probably a couple of other shades, so this was really hard for me to pick. So I have no idea if I got the right shade or not. We're gonna see how that goes. She also dropped an Easy Blur primer, so we're gonna get into that as well. Here is what the Easy Blur foundation is looking like. You can see that it is small, but it's 1 ounce and it's a squeezy tube. So, which I kind of like. I'd rather brands not spend all this money on glass and other kinds of packaging. I know glass is easier to recycle, or at least I think that it is. But when you're traveling, when you have a glam space, or whatever your setup is, it's always easier to have these types of components. So I really like that. Also got the primer, same situation with the primer. This one looks a little bit bigger, even though it is also 1 ounce, but there's the two products together. I heard that the Easy Blur is replacing the Glowish Blur Jam. I actually really like that primer a lot, and I think I even have a backup in my drawer. And at the last, I think it was the last Sephora sale, they had the Glowish products like super cheap. Because I think she's doing away with Glowish now that Huda has stepped back into the CEO or the CFO or whatever her title was. And so they're making some changes. They're also changing the logo, although the logo on these is the old one. So the new one is more, it just got a different look to it. So nonetheless, let's get into what it says about these products. Okay, so I apologize, but I can't get my iPad to come up, so I'm just going to have to read whatever it says on the box. When I was able to get it up before, it didn't really say a lot more than what it says on the box, but it says for the foundation, it says it has 1.5% niacinamide, it's weightless, it's comfortable, it's a buildable blur. It says shake well before use, apply and blend using a sponge, brush, or fingertips. Repeat to build medium coverage as needed. So it's definitely a medium coverage. I already told you what shade I got, 220N. And then on the Easy Blur primer, it says apply primer all over face, focusing on areas you want to smooth and blur. Pair it with Easy Blur foundation for a more soft focused look. And let's see. So the primer is made in South Korea. And I think I saw that the foundation is made in Italy. Yes, it's made in Italy. So that's the background. There are 29 shades. I know there was an issue with one of the shades because Huda had come out and apologized. I don't know if it was a production issue or a shade issue or both, but I think there was originally 30 and now right now there's 29. So with the primer, I had mentioned I really like this primer and I was really bummed that it was going to be going away. Mine is kind of old, so I mean, I'm at the very, you could see I'm at the very end of it here. So, but it does have like this kind of pinkish color to it, and it feels like almost like jelly-like. So It's sealed up inside. We're gonna do one side with the primer and one side without. And then she says to do a finger length amount for each side. Now, I've seen a couple of people say that they would use that on their entire face. I believe Babs Beauty said that. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and start applying this product. So I'm going to put the primer on this side of my face. Wow, this feels nice. My face here so we can see this better. Okay. So I put a headband on because I realized that that wasn't going to work the way it was. So I'm putting the primer on right now, and it feels really nice. It feels like very silky, and this is silicone free, so that's really good. It feels a little cooling. I could feel a little cooling on my face right now, which actually feels very good. It's still hot here in Arizona. Okay, so like I said, I'm just putting the primer on one side, and now we're gonna go ahead and apply the foundation. It said to shake it really good. And a lot of the people that are doing reviews got it in PR, I noticed, at least the people I've watched. And so they use the brush that they got. I'm just going to use this It Cosmetics brush because it looks like a kind of like a kabuki style brush. Okay, and then here's what the component looks like. And I just put a little bit on the back of my hand so you can see that shade. I think this shade is actually going to work really well. So there it is, and I'm going to put some on the other side here. And let's just go ahead and start getting this on the skin. Okay, so far, like right away, I feel like it feels very weightless. And it says that it's medium coverage, but you can build it up a little bit. Just gonna bring it down my neck. Okay, so that's the side with the primer, and now let's do the other side without the primer. It smells like makeup. It doesn't have like, it has a scent. It's not strong, but yeah, it smells like foundation. Okay. And there it is on the side without the primer. Side with the primer and side without the primer. So I feel like it's sitting a little bit better on this side of my face. I mean, it's not like if you walked up to me, you'd be able to tell if I primer on one side or not on the other. I do notice that as I'm getting older, I do need to use a primer to get anything to like really stay on my face for hours and hours without starting to break up. So let's just do another layer so you can see I'm tapping that on. And this is on the side that doesn't have any primer. And this is the side that has the primer. Okay, so I can see that it is buildable because I feel like I'm getting better coverage now that I put another layer on. I don't generally do more than one layer. I don't generally do more than 2 layers. I feel like if I have to keep layering something up, then it's just not giving me the desired coverage that I personally like. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop for a second here, and I picked up another Ulla Henriksen This is their Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment, because my lips are feeling a little dry. And what's the shade? Creme Brulee. So I have this in Strawberry, and I really like this a lot. And when I saw they had Creme Brulee, I was like, all right, I'll pick this up too. Yeah. It smells like creme brulee. Not much of a shade. It's kind of clear, but yeah, I really like this a lot. I just wanted to throw something on my lips because I'm feeling very dry. Okay, so what do you think? Primer? No primer. I feel like this side just looks a little bit better. There's not much of a difference, but I do feel like this side, looking at myself in the mirror ahead of me here, in front of me rather, I can see that it looks like it's just sitting a little bit better on this side. I have to do concealer because I don't have any on, and I don't have Huda's concealer, although I'm kind of interested in giving it a try. So I'm just going to use the Natasha Denona. Really like this concealer a lot. I wear shade N4 in case you're interested, or you're my shade twin. Okay, and I'm going to try to stick with Huda products. So I'm going to actually use, for highlight, I'm going to use this palette right here. And then for bronzer, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible, and I'll put the shade information down below for you. For cheeks, I'm going to use this Huda. This is her new, one of her new blushes. It's a liquid blush, and I'll put the shade below for you on that one as well. Okay, and then for lips, I had picked up this 90s Brown Lip Duo. I actually got this, like, I think in the last Sephora sale. That's when these came out, these glosses, the Faux Filler. And I really like her lip liners. So I'll put the shade names down below, but I thought this was a good opportunity for us to use these products. So I'm just going to wipe off this Peptide, and then I'll put these two products on. Okay, I'm going to start with the lip liner. So I think what you're supposed to do is like fill in your lips with the liner. I love these faux fillers, by the way. I think I have like 3 or 4 shades. This one is just the clear. Okay, I think that looks really pretty. Okay, one other thing that she says you should do, and I will do this on, I guess I'll do it on this side of my face where the primer is. I'm going to put some of her Easy Bake powder on. So let me just grab that and we'll powder the one side. I've got 3 shades. That's how much I really like her Easy Bake. So I have Pound Cake, I have Banana Bread, and then I have Peach Pie. So I don't want to change the shade on my face. I think I'm going to go with the pound cake because that's the one that's the first one I ever got and I use the most of. So I'm just going to dump some out on the back of my hand here. And that's what it looks like. Okay, and I'm just going to do what I would normally do if I'm going to powder my face. And I'm just going to go kind of like just right here. I don't really need, I basically do like up under my eye and then just right here and around my mouth where kind of like where I want to just set it more. I mean, I don't put it all over my face and I don't bake or anything like that. So that's what I use these powders for. Okay, so let me get a little close there for you. Primer, powder, Easy Blur foundation on this side. And then just the foundation and the other Huda products on this side, except for that L'Oreal bronzer. But so that is the finished look, my friends. I have to say, I am very impressed with this. I'm really excited that she gave us another primer to jump to for the glowish fans like myself. And I feel like this is like, first of all, I think the shade is perfectly fine. You know, for point of reference, I have mature skin. I am normal to dry combo, and I've got some hyperpigmentation, and you know, my skin tends to get red sometimes. So I do, my all-time favorite is a full coverage, right? But we don't have a lot of foundations that actually do that anymore. So there are some, but, you know, and of course I probably have them. But for a medium coverage, which that's what this says it is, I think it's really nice. I'm very impressed by it. It feels really good on the skin. I like the primer. Her recommendation is you do primer, foundation, and the easy bake. She calls it like a 3-step process. But I think you could just wear the foundation and it would be fine. But I will say, I really do, if I had to choose a side, I would say I like this side just a little bit more. I feel like it looks glowy, it looks nice. It's fine on this side. I mean, it works. But this side to me feels just a little more finished. I guess that's how I would describe it. But anyway, so for me, 10 out of 10, as long as this does not break out my skin in any way, I always have to put that disclaimer there. It's a winner. I'd highly recommend it. On my eyes, because I was trying to stick with all Huda, I did take out the Rose Quartz palette. This is one of my favorite palettes ever. And right now at Sephora, they have 3 of her palettes on sale. I'm not sure which 3 they are. I know I have them, so it wasn't, you know, but if you don't have them and you want to check them out, they're, as of the day that I'm recording this video, which is Saturday, this will probably go up on Sunday. It is, there were 3 palettes that were 50% off, and I assume they still have stock, but check it out if the sale's still going on. So that is the end of this review, my friends. I hope you found it helpful. That's always my goal, is to help you out and see if you want to spend your money on this. 2 other things I want to mention before I close this out. The primer is $29 and the foundation is $37. And so you see if that's something you want to spend your coin on, if you just want to pick up the foundation or you want to pick up both. That's why I wanted to do one side of my face with the 3 steps and one without. So I hope you found that helpful. If you're not already following me, please give me a follow and join our little makeup family here. We'd love to have you. And follow me over on Instagram. And I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate you clicking on my video and watching the video. And if you stayed till the end, I really do appreciate that. If you like the video, please give it a like. It helps push this content out to other people that may be interested. And I really do appreciate that. and there's more to come, and I'll see you soon.